Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
Rich Massabny.
And here we go with another show right around the middle of October, Burr month number 2, and we're hoping that the government shutdown will end soon. Word has it that maybe by the...
As we're taping this tonight.
As we're taping tonight here, yeah, by tomorrow night's airing, it will all be over. We hope so. Well, anyway, I'll put my News or Seniors glasses on so I can see what I'm reading here. We have our news. Nort Beckerman is here with his Brain Healthy Minute. Thanks, Bill. Community Bulletin Board. Rich is here with his reviews, and It's Easy Being Green is on... She's on vacation, I guess,
yeah,
right?
On assignment,
enjoying some time off down at the beach. So we wish Adele a good time at the beach and a safe return to us here. Rich with his reviews, and then Miriam is here again talking with Jay Fisette, who's running for county board. And that's our show. But before we begin, here's a social media reminder.
Absolutely, from my Fred. You can watch us on Facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News, and we also have our YouTube channel, which is YouTube.com/Arlington Weekly News, and the number 1. So please visit us on our social media websites.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Here we go with the first of our news items. Well, there might be some changes to 2 very prominent marathons being held in the area because of the government shutdown. The Army 10-miler, which is scheduled for October 20, and the Marine Corps Marathon, scheduled for October 27. Both marathons and other related events going on this weekend may be postponed or canceled. The Army 10-miler is still on, however, but the route has been changed a bit. The Marine Corps Marathon will be postponed and possibly canceled, so stay tuned for that. For more information, you can visit army10miler.com or marinemarathon.com to learn more about these events coming up. Daniel.
Absolutely, Craig. What county taxi drivers held a protest against taxi regulations at the county office last week. Almost 100 taxi drivers visited the county board, calling for a meeting with board chairman Walter Tejada. They are upset about working conditions in Arlington, in particular with an operating permit rule they feel supports taxi companies at the expense of taxi drivers. The protest was sparked when a driver was fired after complaining to his cab company, Yellow Cab. The drivers managed to speak with board member Mary Hines in person and Walter Tejada by phone on Friday. They spoke with Tejada again on Wednesday, the 16th. The results of their conversations is not known.
All right, Daniel, in other news items, well, did you know that in Arlington, people may have the right to kill a dog if it's caught attacking their chickens? The Virginia law is intended to support farmers in rural areas, and now that Arlington County is considering allowing egg-laying hens on residential property, it may apply here as well. However, some dog lovers may take issue with this rule. The Urban Agriculture Task Force will be providing recommendations regarding this ruling. You can visit the county's website to check out the latest developments on this law. Interesting. Daniel.
Well, Arlington Public Schools is participating in the STEM volunteer program this year. It's run by several major science associations. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The STEM volunteer program enhances K-12 science education by linking classroom teachers with STEM professionals. The STEM professionals will assist the classroom teacher about 1 day a week for the entire school year.
And some information now for you bike riders out there. The county previously funded a documentary about Arlington's bike-friendly transformation. Various county staff and community members were filmed for over a period of 1 year. Then the takes were edited into a 30-minute film entitled Bike Swell. The film was produced by Gripped Films, founded by Arlington resident Jason Berry. The film documents county accomplishments such as adding new bike lanes to streets and supporting the growth of Capital Bike Share. You can watch the film on YouTube by searching for Bike Swell. Daniel.
Well, Craig, we don't have an It's Easy Being Green segment tonight, unfortunately, but we do have an opportunity to help out the environment. The county is giving out free trees to Arlington residents. Go to the county website and visit the county's Eventbrite page. Print out a ticket and then pick up your baby tree at the corner of South George Mason Drive and 4 Mile Run Drive. You can choose from white oak, black gum, black haw, and pagoda dogwood. The pickup date is Saturday. That's October the 26th.
All right, go out there and get those free trees. Great idea.
Yep.
Well, Daniel and I will be back with our CBB Community Bulletin Board file right after we hear from Nort Beckerman and his Brain Healthy Minute. Here's Nort.
Hey, Nort.
Hi, I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. Did you know that your brain is dynamic about the future and responsive to what you do or don't do, particularly in the areas of memory and learning? Your brain can be repaired, rebuilt, and possibly expanded at any age, but you have to keep your brain healthy. It's not difficult. Start with the foods you eat and drink. Stay hydrated by drinking water. Fight toxic oxidants by eating fruits and vegetables. Omega-3 fights tissue inflammation and builds new tissue. Cold water fish is great, but crushed flaxseed on salads or in cereal does a really good job. Eat whole grain breads instead of breads made with white flour or enriched white flour. Try brown or wild rice instead of white rice. Sweet potatoes are good too. If you're a meat eater, buy free-range, grass-fed beef. It may be difficult to find, but the health of your brain is worth it. And keep learning new things. I'm Nort Beckerman, the Brain Health Coach. I'll see you next time for a Brain Healthy Moment.
All right, thanks, Nort.
Thank you so much,
Don't forget,
Nort.
it's never too late to train your brain. So keep doing the crosswords and Sudoku.
Exercise your mind.
Exercise
your brain, exactly.
Thanks, Nort. Okay, here we go with our CBB, or Community Bulletin Board items. Well, Friends of the Planetarium is organizing a series of educational and fundraising events. October's theme is Mission to Mars. On Friday, October 18, you can watch the movie Cosmic Colors. This is a family-friendly movie that explores the significance of colors in nature here on Earth and on Mars. The show starts at 6:30 p.m. and young kids, the kids in the family are welcome, and the young at heart are also encouraged to wear Halloween costumes. Kids might win a prize if they have the right costume. At 7:30 p.m. The same night you can watch Mars Quest, a scientific and historical explanation of planet Mars, narrated by Star Trek's Patrick Stewart.
Well, that's a great event, the Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars. Daniel.
Well, on Saturday, October the 19th, it's movie night at the planetarium. That night's featured movie will be Mars Attacks, a PG-13 1996 movie starring, yeah, you guessed it, Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, and Pierce Brosnan. It will start at 6:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, that's October the 20th, at 1:30 p.m., there will be another screening called One World, One Sky, Big Bird's Adventure. New and familiar faces from Sesame Street will explore similarities and differences between China and the U.S. Halloween costumes are welcome. And then at 3 p.m. there will be a lecture hosted by a member of NASA's Space Flight Center. He will discuss weather and how Mars transformed from an environment that supported flowing water to the cold, dry, dead planet we know it to be today. Admission is $3 for kids and $5 for planetarium friends and members, and for seniors, and $7 for teens and adults. Buy tickets and learn more about all of these events at friendsoftheplanetarium.org. Craig.
Okay, Daniel, and next up, some information now on our schools, great schools here in Arlington. Here are a few public school events that we'd like to tell you about. On Wednesday, October 23rd, there'll be an early release for all elementary schools. That evening from 7 to 9 p.m., there'll be a college night at Ballston Common Mall. On Thursday, October 24 at 7:30 p.m., there'll be a school board meeting at the Education Center. And then on Friday, October 25, kids will get to leave school early that day again. By this time, it applies to middle and high school students. And then on Monday, October 28 at 7 p.m., there'll be a high school information night at Washington Lee High School. You can get more information on details on all these events happening at the schools online at www.apsva.us or by contacting the individual schools. Daniel.
And then on Sunday, October the 20th, it's the Army 10-miler race. Volunteers, spectators, and exhibitors can take the free express shuttle to and from the Pentagon Metro and the race site. The shuttle will run continuously between 4:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. and again from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. The shuttle is for everyone, so please enjoy, but runners should not use the shuttle before the race. Visit Army10miler.com for more information.
Okay, Daniel, and Daniel and I will be back with our News for Seniors file right after we hear from Rich Massabny and his reviews.
Hey,
Here's
Rich, how are you?
Thank you, boys.
Back
Thank you,
in form.
boys. It's been about a dozen years since Cinetic Theater first wowed the audiences with their work shows. Directed by Pata Tcheshkavili with and his wife's energetic choreography, Irena Tcheshkavili. Thanks to her, there's always a surprise, and this time with the production of The Picture of Dorian Gray. But there's dialogue in this one. Dorian Gray is based on a story by Oscar Wilde, as you may know, sort of a civilized horror story. An artist, Basil, played by Robert Bowen Smith, paints a portrait of Dorian, and this portrait ages, but Dorian does not. Dorian's played by Dallas Tolentino. Basil's best friend, Lord Henry, played by Joseph Carlson, coaches Dorian in a life of debauchery and to seek. I had to close my eyes here when all this debauchery was going on. But anyway, Dorian falls in love with an actress, Sybil, played by Rachel Jacobs, then leaves. Look, if you've never seen Cinetic Theater, I'm telling you, people, you're missing out. They've been going on now for about a dozen years, and I don't know anybody who does the choreography, does the exciting stuff that they do. They're just unbelievable. And they started the show with gals and guys coming out in these flesh-colored, tight, two-piece pieces.
Oh my goodness.
It was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Of course.
I had to look like
You had to
this.
look away.
Yeah, look
Please.
like this, you
Exactly.
know. Anyway.
It was terrifying.
It was awful. The Picture of Dorian Gray, though, will play through November 3rd in Crystal City with self-free parking. It's wonderful. For information and tickets, call 1-800-494-8497 and check the website, Cinetic Theater, and that's with an ER, cinetictheater.org. Unbelievably, in the Virginia Opera's 39-year history, last weekend was the first time they ever performed Giuseppe Verdi's Falstaff. This delightful two-act opera is based on Shakespeare's Merry Wives of Windsor and Henry IV, and was performed in Italian with English subtitles, you know, above your head there, at the George Mason University Center for the Arts out there in Fairfax. In short, Sir John Falstaff, played by Stephen Powell, is a bit of a fat buffoon who thinks he's a lady killer and tries to seduce two beautiful women who are married. Alice Ford, played by Elizabeth Caballero, and Meg Page by Courtney Miller. Unfortunately, all of his well-laid plans go astray there because the girls planned something else for this guy. How many fun operas are there? This is one of them, and it's too bad they're here and it's already gone. But the Virginia Opera, check them out. They're going to do the next thing is the Magic Flute, but that'll be in December, early December. For more information, tickets call 703-993-2789 or check the web at www.cfa.gmu.edu. You should get to know the George Mason Center for the Arts. They do good stuff. Besides the operas, they do other good shows, and they sometimes have their students do things. It was amazing, amazing. I also saw the other day the Roundhouse Theater in Bethesda. See, I go to any lengths to bring some talent here and
Divert
stories.
your eyes. Don't look at those flesh-colored
Yeah,
things
sickening,
anymore.
sickening. Yeah. But anyway, Roundhouse Theater is doing something currently called This. That's right, just THIS. And like sort of, is this it? This kind of thing. Now, what it is over there in Bethesda, they always do good stuff at Roundhouse, but they have a married couple, and this woman, well, played by Felicia Curry and Todd Schofield, and Lisa Brunet. She's a widow. Her husband died, you see. And then there's a single guy played by Michael Glenn and Will Gottshaw. And they're apparently, and I was looking to see some skin, but I didn't. But apparently, Todd Schofield, one of the married guys. Well, you know, I'm recovering from a little illness.
That's right. You have to take it easy.
Yes.
Now. Right.
Yes.
Nothing too shocking
That's
for
right.
your
That's right.
delicate
I have
condition.
dark glasses I put on just for these occasions, you know.
Wonderful, Rich.
I got that for Bill Carver. He lets me wear them. Anyway, the point is, it's a fun show. It really is, and they're all questions. So the thing is, this guy, the married guy, can you imagine this fooling around with some widow?
Heavens no.
No.
Heavens no.
And thank God there wasn't too much skin on that one, or I would have.
You had to leave. You would have had to
I
leave.
wouldn't stay there.
You would have had to leave.
No. Anyway, the Roundhouse is 240-644-1100, and their website is Roundhouse Theater with an RE at the end.org. It's a nice show. It's interesting. You know, this kind of thing of relationships. You know.
False stuff.
Well, no, not false stuff on
Well,
this
false stuff was the other one.
This is this.
Oh, that,
Yeah.
not that, this.
That's right.
Sorry, I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. And then finally,
I'll get it in a minute.
you know Saval Foods, SAVAL? They got like 31 trucks that run around the Beltway.
seen their trucks.
Big trucks with like black trucks with yellow Saval, SAVAL. And I had to go all the way out recently just for this show. I went to Greenbelt, Maryland.
Wow.
They had a big show of all the foods and all the things and all. You want me to go quicker? Okay. Anyway.
Quicker.
Yeah. They had everything that they. I had to eat this and eat that just for you,
Of
so I
course.
could come back
What a
here and tell you.
sacrifice.
Made me
What a
sick.
sacrifice.
Made me sick.
Well, I hope not. But,
All right. Anyway, all right. Here's a phone number. Call Saval Food. You really got to know these people. They're good people. They're nice people. 800-527-2825, or look them up. SavalFoods.com, and you find a whole other world out there. You know. I had some corned beef sandwiches. Knocked me out.
I'm
Wonderful.
sure.
Wonderful.
Well, it looked like you survived it.
Yeah.
The trip out to
So
Greenbelt.
that's the story. Thank you,
Excellent.
folks.
Thank you so much. Rich.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, as promised now, up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News is our News for Seniors segment. Got my News for Seniors glasses on, and here we go. Carolyn Wilder, president of Great Transitions, has presented a forum on transitions for couples in retirement. After people end their working careers, they need to redefine their identities, including household roles and responsibilities. This free FRWE free program will be held at Walter Reed on Tuesday, October 22 at 7 in the evening. The number, 703-228-0955 for more information. Dan.
So just to emphasize, Craig, it's free, right?
Free.
Well, Arlington Spellbinders is a group of volunteer storytellers. They tell folk tales, fables, myths, and true life stories to kids at school. This is a fun activity for seniors who enjoy children and have a dramatic flair. To learn more information, or rather to attend Spellbinders meeting on Thursday, October the 21st at 1 p.m. at the Walter Reed Senior Center. Just give them a call to register at 703-228-0955.
Spellbinders.
Spellbinders,
It's a
yep.
great name. I have to go over there and tell some stories. All right, up next here on our News for Seniors segment on Friday, October 25 at 10 in the morning at Fairlington Community Center, the Arlington and Alexandria Commissions on Aging will host candidates for the Virginia General Assembly House of Delegates. Candidates from Districts 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49 have been invited to discuss senior issues. The event is open to the public. For more information, give them a call, 703-228-1700. Daniel.
Knowledge for newcomer women, or Project No, is funded by the Susan G. Komen for the Cure. It focuses on immigrant women in the metropolitan area. It's a breast cancer awareness program that includes a breast health workshop and free follow-up screening. There are 2 workshops. One workshop is directed at Spanish-speaking women and the other at Amharic-speaking women. Both workshops are scheduled to be held at the Walter Reed Senior Center. For Amharic speakers, the program will take place on Tuesday, that's October the 22nd at 10 a.m. For Spanish speakers, the program will take place on Thursday, that's October the 24th at 10 a.m. To register for either class, call Walter Reed at 703-228-0955. And again, Craig, we want to thank our own Judy Massabny for her help and her dedication in helping us out with the newscast. Thanks, Judy. So much, Judy, for your help.
Thanks, Judy, and hi to Pat and Judy. Thanks for watching. Okay, as promised, now up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News, Miriam Gennari talking with Jay Fisette.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I am here with co-chair of the County Board, Jay Fisette. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
Thanks for having me.
Well, now, Jay, you've been on the county board since 1998, and you're about to run for your seat and to maintain your position. Tell me, since your time on the board, what would you say is the most important change you've initiated?
I'll think of 2, but the one based on the purpose of this show I'll get to. The first one was e-government and technology, and really putting emphasis in 2001 on e-government services and allowing people to get things taken care of through the internet. We did a lot with that. But in more recent years, my passion is really around the environment. And 3-4 years ago, we created the Energy and Sustainability Task Force, a broad base of folks, all the major property owners, all the employers, nonprofits, civic groups. And we came together and created, with a consensus, an energy plan, an energy reduction plan for this community over the next 40 years. Very few communities have done it, and we've now adopted it as part of the county's comprehensive plan, sort of on the same par as our land use plan, our transportation plan, stormwater management, open space, those things. Not many communities have done that.
No, and some people would say that that's almost as significant as the number of metro stops we have in Arlington, that we will eventually have one of the most energy efficient communities in the state of Virginia.
Well, we are famous for our smart growth planning because we started doing that long before that term was coined. And I really see the work in energy and the environment as the next chapter in Arlington's sustainability story. Starting with land use, transportation, and there are a lot of emissions from transportation, so that's part of this picture. Moving on to energy and how we make our buildings more efficient, use renewable energy more effectively, educate people, etc.
I know that sustainability is something that you personally believe in, and I've heard very often people say that, you know, Arlington is a victim of its own success, so successful that we have a shortage of affordable housing, we have difficult transportation in this area, and of course we still have a very difficult time making sure that our minorities residents are employed and are doing well. So if you were reelected, how would you address some of these issues for those people who are not thriving here in Arlington?
Well, that's a very good question, and when people, we know we have a lot of good things that work here, but of course we have challenges, always have, always will. And the 2 that you just mentioned, well, you mentioned one of the 2 that what I would characterize as we're victims of our success, affordable housing. We are small, we have a desirable place to live, and because of that, the land here, the value of that land keeps rising. It makes it very difficult for people of low and moderate income to be able to afford to live here.
Senior citizens and taxes.
Senior citizens as well, though for some we do have exemptions and deferrals if they have a certain level of asset and income for seniors. But for people of low and moderate income, we put over 5% of the budget towards those programs. We leverage $3 or $4 for every county taxpayer dollar to try to find new ways to either protect or preserve or create new units of affordable housing. We also have housing grants that help subsidize people in rental apartments. But it's a full-time job. Alexandria, Fairfax, I would say put 0.9 and 1.4% of their budget to these programs. We put 5.3% of our budget toward these programs. It's a serious issue, and we're going to keep working at it.
Okay, so aside from the domestic issues, let's just get back on the environment, because
Sure.
the plastic water bottles have been a pet peeve of yours for a long time. In fact, in 2009.
And yours.
And indeed, as well as styrofoam, I might add. But in any case, I want you to tell us what bothers you most about these plastic water bottles.
Well, I come at it, you can come at it from any number of ways, but first, I'm in the business as a local government official of using your taxpayer money to create safe, clean drinking water. And we have it. And it's available in many places and accessible.
So we want folks to know you can drink Arlington water.
This is not about water being bad. Water is good. It's just that you don't have to spend tons of money, and you don't have to use all that energy and carbon to create the plastic and then let that plastic degrade the environment. That is the ecosystem we depend upon to survive.
So tell me about Tap In Arlington.
Tap In Arlington is a group of about 15 at this point, local activists. You're one of them. Thank you for joining us.
pleasure.
We meet in my living room once a month, and we've created a website, www.tapinarlington.com or .org, and it gives you information about the alternatives to using a plastic water bottle, why that's not a good thing for the environment, why it's not a good thing for your pocketbook. And it also plugs tap water that we have here in Arlington. Our goal is to get 10,000 people, in fact, to take a very simple pledge that they will choose to drink tap water instead of purchasing the single-use plastic throwaway bottles.
All right, I'm very glad we got to that, because I think that's an important piece for the Sustainable Scoop. But now, in a week, I will have your opponent for County Board, Audrey Clement, here. And I'm going to ask her the same question I'm about to ask you. Looking at Audrey's platform, tell me one thing you really like and one thing that you don't.
Well, I haven't looked at her platform. I have debated her just last night. One thing I like, I assume on a lot of the green and environmental issues, we're very similar in terms of our philosophies. I assume she has signed the pledge about plastic water bottles, but I don't know for sure. She is promoting solar, something that I promote too. I think there's a practical break-even point now in terms of the business case for it. So we still need to find incentives. We still need to work with the state to do that.
All right, so it sounds like in a lot of ways you do agree as an environmentalist yourself.
No doubt, no doubt.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here on the Arlington Weekly News. I want you viewers to be sure to go to Fisette.org if you'd like to find out more information, or about your drinking water, go to arlingtonva.us and search water, or you can take the pledge to stop purchasing plastic water bottles at tapinarlington.com. Tapinarlington.com. Thanks so much for watching this edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Back to you at the news desk.
All right, thanks Miriam and Jay Fisette.
Thank you, Miriam.
And thanks to all of you for watching this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Next week, you'll be right there, we'll be right here, and we'll do it all again. Have a safe week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheerio.